girls. Welcome back to another episode of the What the Fanboy Show. This week, Luke is back.
I'm back. Back like I never left.
And better than ever.
Yes.
How was your little vacay?
Dude, it was awesome.
Good.
I didn't find Bigfoot.
That's disappointing.
Which was disappointing, but I did jump off a cliff into a volcano lake. Which
that
is
is
pretty
awesome.
cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah, that was dope.
You know, when that opportunity doesn't come up a lot, so I had to take it. I have a bruise on my butt from landing.
You gotta pencil
apparently.
that.
Well,
Pencil those.
it didn't hurt. Like I was bananaed. I was going for kind of a splash, and I came to the surface. It was a little cold, and like that was fun. People asked if it hurt. I was just like, no. Big bruise. I'll show it to you after.
Okay. I'm curious.
It's not camera appropriate. Not like
It's a little high. I could probably get away with it, but you know, let's not.
Show some skin.
I think this is a.
What the Fanboy After Dark.
Oof.
Dude, Lepke's referring to the bruise I had on my butt when we went sledding at Tabor. It was bad. I chipped my tailbone. It was
Guys,
not
I
good.
just
I've
get
done that.
bruises
It was
from
not good.
walking into tables these days.
Well, you're old.
Well, I don't think I chipped my tailbone, but I slipped on a stair at a backyard pool. Landed right on my butt.
I know.
I was
Hurt
like
so bad.
I was going down the Marion Dam, and
Yeah.
at the bottom of it there was a ditch, and it flattened out ditch other side. I was going so fast that I didn't go into the ditch. I just went across it. So the back end of the sled was like
some real
boom!
speed.
I hit it so hard I immediately started dry heaving. I thought I was gonna puke.
Tyler over here trying to be the
Oh,
Flash.
I just cried a little bit.
It was not good. And then I went and played intramural basketball that night, and it was so bad.
What an idiot.
It hurt so much, but it was fun.
All right. Well, now that we're done with our Tabor talk, we can
and talk about our butts.
We can talk.
Woo.
We can talk about new trailers that were out this week. We had a few.
There's
so,
quite a few, yeah.
Yeah. The big one, of course, was The Marvels. This is its second trailer, so we kind of have an idea of, or had an idea what the story is. This one, for me, just kind of gave us a little more info on
what's happening
with their powers and the mixing of it.
Yep.
Other than that, it didn't do much for me.
Yeah.
Is it the same? I feel like it's the same song as the first trailer. Is that a trend now?
I think the first one was Sabotage. You're both Beastie Boys, I think.
Oh, maybe they were just both Beastie Boys.
For me, you kind of capture it. It doesn't move the needle.
Yeah.
I think the first trailer is better, but because it doesn't move the needle, it's a sideways thumb for me.
Right.
I don't think this looks bad.
No.
It looks much better than the first Captain Marvel, which is good. But yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't move things. I'm gonna see it.
I think it's an interesting concept.
It'll be cool to see how they use it.
I'm more or less excited about the idea of how does this entanglement affect how they fight or exist. I guess it is fighting mostly because it's only when they use their powers. But look, after the last phase of the MCU, I am not incredibly confident that it's gonna be great, but I just, again, the concept is there. I'm still excited for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Will it be executed well? No idea. No idea.
I think it looks fine.
Yeah.
Sideways thumb for you too.
Sure.
And on the other side of this is the third side of the superhero triangle because it's not DC.
It's the Amazon side.
It's the Amazon stuff. Gen V, which is The Boys spinoff.
Yeah, boys.
Duh, boys.
College.
Learning to be superheroes.
Learning how to be a superhero.
It's Sky High, but the boys.
I like that context for the show.
Yeah, that's
so much more than the trailer.
Yeah, the trailer didn't really do much for me. I still think it's, again, a fun concept. I'm very curious where they go with it, but
it's just one of those things. The trailer doesn't move the needle, but the needle for me is pointing up. I'm gonna watch it.
It's already high.
A sideways thumb on the trailer.
Yeah.
Gonna watch it. Don't need a trailer for it.
Yep.
Agreed. Okay, we'll keep moving. We have a new trailer for A Haunting in Venice. This is the
Haunting in Venice.
Hunting in Venice, not horror movie, but well, it is certainly it is branded as a horror movie, but
it won't be.
20th centuries Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, the kind of the third in this Poirot, new Poirot detective murder mystery franchise.
I will say it looks better than the other two because it's different.
It looks different than the other two, and that's.
I might actually see.
Boy, this is the theme.
will.
The theme of the trailers this week is Brett's on board with that idea.
Yeah.
It's like, let's take a murder mystery and make it a horror movie.
Yeah.
Why has that not been done more?
I'll thumbs up this
7?
one. And for the other reason I'd thumbs this up is because the cast is not as crazy
the cast
as like the previous two.
Yeah.
Like it's good, but it's not insane. Like they didn't go out and get every super famous person right now for it. So makes me feel like maybe they've pulled it back a little bit and they're gonna make something a little bit more doable for them.
Less about the star power, more about the
movie, the story.
The story,
yeah,
the film.
So thumbs up for me. I'll watch
Story
this.
power.
Story power.
Over in the land of Netflix, we got a trailer for the live-action adaptation of One Piece.
Yeah.
Which none of us have read.
I have zero context for this, and so this trailer makes no sense to me other than cool pirates and
powers,
anime stuff.
I think this trailer is
looks fun.
Good. Like it enticed me. Like I kind of want to check this out. So I'm thumbs up in this one too.
I am too. I think it looks fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm curious what the One Piece
fandom feels.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear that.
I would be terrified to hear that. Fandoms aren't nice places.
Sure they are.
Fandom are you in?
Right now, the Orioles fandom is pretty great, as is the Washington Commanders fandom.
Well,
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. We're not into sports talk. We're still talking trailers. The next one, Nandor Fondor and the Talking Mongoose.
What is this movie?
Is it an A24 movie?
This is Simon Pegg.
It looks like it could be, but no.
Sounds like an A24. I didn't watch this trailer. I just kind of listened to it for a little bit.
The end of it's very different than the rest of it.
It's it definitely takes a turn where like it could be like a
horror movie
at the end.
Is talking
like, what?
Is talking mongoose a euphemism?
Absolutely. For what, I don't know, but we're going to say yes.
For sex.
Oh, shoot. I didn't know that, Luke.
I was asking. I don't know.
Thank you for educating me.
I'm not educating. I'm asking the
authorities.
This is one of those really quirky trailers that I kind of like. It gets me curious more than anything. I'm not sure it'll be a movie that I go out and actually see in theaters. If it even releases in theaters, I assume it'll release in theaters. But
I would hope so.
But at the same time, it's like
Town.
this looks kind of funky.
It'll be on the east side. Sideways them. Cool. I don't think I care about this movie.
That's fair. Wheel of Time season 2.
Didn't watch it.
Thumbs up.
I haven't watched season 1, but I watched the trailer for season 2, and I thought this looks like more of what they tried to sell me the first time, and I wasn't really interested in that.
I liked season 1. So I'm excited for season 2.
My wife enjoyed season 1,
My
and she
wife.
thought the trailer for season 2 looked great. So
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Listening to it and watching like a little bit of it while Luke was watching it, I think it looked interesting.
It's a cool world.
Yeah, I believe. I mean, the novels are beloved, so
yeah. It's a big world.
But what is the fandom?
Yeah, I don't know. The other trailer that you guys missed is called, what's the new Exorcist movie called?
The Exorcist Beginnings?
Is that what it's called?
The Exorcist 2.
Believer.
Back in the Habit.
The Exorcist Believer. First trailer for that was in front of Oppenheimer. I don't know if we've talked about The Exorcist a little bit on the show, but like it's a movie I can't watch. Like I can't do it. Turns out this is a sequel.
Yeah.
To that. And the girl who's possessed in The Exorcist is in it. She's an old lady now. They refer to her as Mother.
Is she gonna be possessed again? Absolutely.
I watch a lot of like horror trailers, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look that scary. Oh, that doesn't look that scary. This to me looks scary.
Is it because of how the old one makes you feel?
Probably. Because I was watching, I was like, what is this? Just another possession movie? And like the way it's starting, you're like, okay. And then like they have the musical motif, and they do like just a small part of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I was like, I kind of like leaned over to my brother and I was like, this is The Exorcist. And then it does it again. And I was like,
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Well, then it does it again, and I was like, oh no, man, I don't want to watch this. But I watched it, and I'll give it a thumbs up. It scared me.
Nice.
And I don't know.
Is that
again? I think it's because of how I feel about the original.
Sure.
But I don't know. I want to try to watch this. It's Blumhouse. I'm interested.
Oh,
what if it was Plum?
If it was the same trailer, I'd be interested. But no, we should watch it after the show. It's
The Exorcist? Yeah.
No.
I agree.
The trailer.
Let's do it.
For the second one.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Well, what we must do now that the trailers are over is we must get into...
Are they?
Oh.
Are they?
Did you have another one?
Yeah.
There's a few.
Look at me trying to jump the gun.
There's a Harley Quinn season 4 trailer. I haven't watched season 3 yet.
Neither.
Just a lot to do.
Season 3 was just kind of fine, in my opinion. So I did see this season 4 trailer, and it looks like an interesting progression from season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Be very curious. Very curious.
Is it finished?
No.
Like, is the animation finished? Is like the unfinished trailer they showed for season 3?
No, that's not what I mean. I just, like, with... Did you guys watch the trailer?
No.
For season 4?
I didn't.
It's like, at the end of season 3, it's like Harley becomes part of the Bat family.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very interesting, especially than what they're doing with Ivy, which is putting her in charge of the League of Villains or whatever they're called.
The Injustice League or the anti...
I can't remember what they call it in the show.
Anti-PETA. What is PETA for plants?
But that cast has great chemistry, so whatever they do, I'm sure will be entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It just feels weird that it's like what they're doing with Harley specifically feels kind of weird. It's fine.
Kind of fits anywhere though.
She does.
I'll put these ones together. There was a trailer for Reservation Dogs season 3, which is the last season for that. Awesome show. Comes out August 2nd.
Oh, that's real soon.
Yeah. And then also there was a trailer for Only Murders in the Building season 3.
Oh, nice.
Which comes out August 8th. Can't wait for both of those shows. Fantastic shows. And then I have a video game trailer.
What is it?
You do have a video game trailer.
Spider-Man 2 story trailer.
Oh.
I thought it was okay.
How's it look? Just okay, eh?
I thought it was good.
I think the story looks good. Something felt weird about the trailer to me. I don't know why.
All the characters
look different. I watched it so long ago. Maybe that was it.
Yeah, they all look different.
They've changed Peter for like the 4th time now.
They keep changing the character models.
Like
it's
Miles
weird.
look older.
Harry looks different.
But like Peter started off looking like one person, switched to another person.
Completely different design altogether.
And now looks like a different person again.
Yeah. And
he's supposed to be like what, 35? He's not supposed to be changing that much. Come on.
Yeah, and Miles looks like I think Miles is probably the best looking because he's mostly the same. His hair is a little different. That's pretty much. But like even MJ looks different. Like totally different character. I don't know, it's just weird.
Maybe that's what was off.
It's different. They changed up the character models quite a bit. Tony Todd's Venom voice is great.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. I think it's very clear who Venom is. I think that's another reason the trailer maybe is like, eh. It's because you know who it is, and they're trying to like treat it as a secret. But I did like it. It's a thumbs up. I'm very excited for this game. I cannot wait to play it.
Yep, same.
And the PlayStation and the controller that they revealed are awesome.
I didn't see.
And they're selling the PlayStation like faceplates separate, so you don't have to actually buy the console.
Gonna get it?
No.
Oh. Lame.
But it looks cool.
No, absolutely not.
It costs too much money, man. I'm gonna spend $60 on those for something that I lay on its side.
Did you have any more?
I don't think so.
Okay. I want to comment on 2 trailers that came out when I was gone.
Oh, sure.
One was Ahsoka.
Yeah, of course. Of course you have
freaking
something.
awesome.
Yep.
I cannot wait. And the other one is Wonka. Looks horrible. It looks horrible. Do you know that movie's a musical and there's no singing and there's a second of dancing in it? Also, Timothée Chalamet's doing a Jim Carrey impersonation, not a Gene Wilder Wonka impersonation. It drove me insane. For even how much I dislike that movie, it felt bad. The only saving grace is that it's the Paddington director, and that's
Makes you feel a little bit better.
makes me feel a little bit better, but I probably still won't see it because Roald Dahl sucks.
Let's say you also just hate Wonka as a whole.
I do.
So
The movie's freaking scary, bro.
So it's Exorcist for him, Wonka for you. What's mine?
Let's be real. The Exorcist would scare me too.
What's the film that terrified me? Can't think of it now. I'll think of it later. All right.
Rise of Skywalker.
Space Jam 2.
Oh!
Ready Player One.
Anything that has a nostalgia in it.
An IP.
Those things don't scare me.
You're like, oh,
They
look,
just
they're
make
referencing another
They
IP.
just make me mad.
He probably hates Wreck-It Ralph.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's awful. I cried during Wreck-It Ralph. Damn it.
That's your fault.
The Lion King, live action. That probably gave him nightmares. Where's the character development?
Secret Invasion.
No, that was you.
Can we
That is
can we move on?
Sure.
No.
We like
Okay.
making fun of you. It's fun.
I like to be a punching bag, I guess. I just can't. I literally can't think of I know there's got to be a movie that
Scares you?
scares me to the point that I won't watch it again.
Gargoyles, Wings
I've
of
probably
Darkness.
just put it out of my memory so far that I can't.
Ready Player One.
I think it's
I
a
don't
0%.
hate that movie that much.
Check the receipts.
It's not good. I don't hate it.
Bro, that's the best movie ever.
Yeah. Seriously,
It's directed by Steven Spielberg.
It's a masterpiece, bro. The T-Rex from that movie is in it.
Oh, I hate you. I hate you so much right now. Ah, don't you dare drag that angel through the mud.
Jurassic World Dominion.
Ooh.
Godzilla 2, King of the Monsters, or Godzilla vs. Kong.
Or Godzilla 1999.
No, 1999 for sure.
Dude, that movie's a masterpiece. And it's not called Godzilla, it's called Zilla.
Zilla.
It's special. I'll say that much.
Special in your heart.
Okay, so a movie we need to actually review.
The Meg.
That's like a month away, my friend. Less than a month, I think.
That's a Meg 2, buddy boy.
Yeah.
Barbie came out. Greta Gerwig's
Barbenheimer time, baby.
take. Same week as Oppenheimer. We're going to be reviewing both of them. So,
We all saw these in the same order. You just had a bigger break.
You did have a gap.
Yeah. I did it. I watched Barbie as a date night with my wife.
Luke and I went on Saturday afternoon and did the double feature. It was a lot of fun.
It was awesome.
It was, first of all, before we even get into the movie, it was just great to see the theater full of people.
Dude, it was a nightmare getting a showtime Friday night.
Well, you waited till Friday night. That was
you should
your
have just
problem.
sat in the third row.
I have
of the
a
IMAX.
wife that's almost 9 months pregnant. Yeah, I'm waiting until Friday night.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's the.
It was rough.
You
I don't
can
know what to
request a refund,
expect.
bro.
I know, but we weren't sure if we were going to be able to make it happen for other reasons. I'll explain when we're not on the show.
You don't need
Because
to
I don't need to
explain.
bring the energy down.
You don't need to explain. What you need to explain.
You need to bring the Kinergy up.
Is how did this movie make
become
you feel?
super toxic.
What are your guys' kind of impressions of Barbie?
Loved it. Loved it. I legit laughed so hard throughout this movie so much. I feel like I haven't done that for a comedy in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it felt really good.
Do you have an impression tweet thing?
I do. I'll read it. Loved it, loved it. First, no, it's funny with an amazing cast with great chemistry between them, great set production and music, and Ryan Gosling steals the movie.
Sounds about like the movie.
pretty dang accurate.
For me, I just put a fun, fantastic, and interesting deconstruction of the idea of Barbie. Surprisingly emotional ending really seals the deal. Greta Gerwig knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, I
loved it too. I'm with you. I thought it was great, and I love seeing the tears online about it. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
It's so great.
It's definitely one of those films that I think the experience of going to the film probably helps it at the same time. It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
It's meta without feeling super meta. It's, like you said, it talks about kind of the deconstruction of what Barbie is and who Barbie should be, or how we can use Barbie in a way that's maybe not toxic. It's not what the corporate world, corporations would necessarily think about, but it's about how that women empowerment and I'm gonna walk through mud on this, trying to explain myself here.
Just get your boots on.
Or your heels or Birkenstocks.
Truth.
No, I just think it does a really fun thing where it takes, the real world and Barbie Land and combines them in a way that is, for as a man, makes me reflect on what I take for granted. I want to also say, having watched Asteroid City 3 weeks ago, can we just get back to fun sets?
So my first pro on this movie is production design.
This is great. I love Barbie Land. It's not some big old CGI juice fest. It's fun practical sets with.
They brought all the toys to life, which I think is so impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's really cool.
And I love what they do in there. And I don't think this is a spoiler of any kind, but it's they move how you play with them.
Yes.
It's the water doesn't actually come out of the
shower.
The shower.
There's no milk in the carton.
There's no milk in the carton. Yeah. They don't take the stairs. They just kind of go down in the air. Yeah. They float down.
Or go down a slide from their room
to the pool.
Yeah.
It's those little details that I think really help sell the world of Barbie, and juxtapose it to what they get to in the second act. And I love that they don't spend a lot of time in the real world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just enough. And then, Barbie Land is where this story takes place and where it needs to take place for the character arcs to develop as they do.
I want to go back because you talk about, how they move through Barbie Land and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And, we talked about Secret Invasion. And one of the things, we said is it just feels lazy, where this is the opposite. This feels like there was a ton of time and thought put into it. They wanted to make sure it was going to be good. It's, I think you and I talked about this on Saturday, and then you sent that tweet to us last night about Mattel signing off on a movie like this is kind of mind-blowing because it's kind of making them look bad in certain moments. And I don't know, there's just so much behind this movie that I think make it so good. In addition to a great cast, a great production design, a great script, everything behind the camera, all the people who backed it, producers, everything. I think this movie is one of those that stands out.
Yeah.
So
I think it has a little. Go ahead, Luke. Sorry.
I was just gonna say it feels like if the Lego movie was live action.
Yeah.
Just how the world was treated.
Mm-hmm.
And how they move. And
I talked about the Lego movie after seeing it.
Yeah.
With Dana.
I'm wondering, as we're sitting here talking, and as I've processed it a little bit over the last couple days, I wonder if they feel like they can get away with more of that meta self-poking at, business being business, because it's a pre-established product. This movie is not,
it's not selling toys.
It is,
but
it doesn't have to.
Right.
It's all gravy. They're not making it so that you'll go out and buy the new Star Wars limited edition, yada yada yada. No, it's you all have Barbie Dreamhouse. You all, here we're gonna make fun of Alan for a minute, right? Or
shout out Alan.
We're gonna see all these, things from your childhood that you remember.
Yeah.
And same with Lego. Typically, like they don't need to make the Lego movie to sell more Legos.
Yeah.
They will sell more Legos because of it, but because they're not building their product around the film, their film is being built around the product. I wonder if they can get away with kind of more of that self-deprecation when it comes to, and to be completely honest, I think this is a film that is for teenagers and above. This is not a film for
It's
kids.
not a kids movie at all.
It's not a kids movie. Stephanie asked me, would Claire enjoy the Barbie movie? And I was like,
she would understand 5% of it.
She would find it pretty, and that's about it. Because it gets incredibly deep incredibly quickly.
Yes.
And nuanced. And there are like funny moments that kids would probably enjoy. At the same time, there's a lot that
there was a kid in
go
our
way
audience
over their head.
who said out loud, "I don't know what's going on." And everybody laughed. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And also shout out to that kid for not making a peep the rest of the movie.
Well-timed comedy from a kid is always great.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And good. Just to go back a little bit to the theater experience. Great theater experience all around.
It was so awesome.
Between the two movies we saw back to back, like we didn't have issues. It was great.
To just hear everybody laughing together was great. Haven't had a packed theater like that
in a
since
long time.
No Way Home.
Yeah.
Maybe in game.
We had a ton of people dressed up in ours too. Tons.
We had lots of pink, but
we had the lights turned off for both when we walked in.
Yeah, we were definitely like the last ones in on each.
Gotcha. Yeah, we had people in like bedazzled boots and cowboy hats and all kinds of stuff.
That's so fun.
I was like the girls sitting next to us, they had like big old like ruffle necklaces on and everything. They were into it. I was like, this is cool, man. I miss this.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was great. My theater experience was awesome. We had a family like behind us and they were laughing like hard. Like, like
that was me. That was me.
It was awesome.
Sorry.
Oh no, we all. I mean, again, I think it's a little bit contagious.
Yeah.
We probably miss it because theaters aren't as full these days. But it's just so nice to kind of get a ripple of laughter. Like it maybe starts somewhere, but then it kind of like
it spreads
out, and it's like, okay, yeah, no, like that's great. That's great. Luke, you mentioned Ryan Gosling.
So good.
Hold on.
The
Kins in general, but
the Kins in general, yes. But if you've seen this movie and you're like, wow, Ryan Gosling is really funny. Like, yeah, welcome to the freaking party. Go watch The Nice Guys. Go away and watch The Nice Guys. He's even funnier in that. And completely different character, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but just the Kins. Their ending... Their third act... not even third act. Their little battle...
The climactic battle
was so funny.
The beach off?
Yeah.
And then like with the music too going, oh my god.
You got the executives like walking, like trying to get through.
Dude, the executives rollerblading killed me. They're just... I could not stop laughing. I was like, this is so stupid. Why am I laughing
Shout
so
out
hard?
to Will Ferrell in a supporting role where I can like...
actually enjoy him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't bad in this. He wasn't like too over the top, which was nice.
Not at all.
But going back to Gosling, like I finished Barbie, and as soon as it was over, I was like, I want to watch Blade Runner. Like that was my immediate response. Like he's just
because you haven't seen Nice Guys. But...
correct, but he's just so good. He's so good in like everything he's in.
Mm-hmm.
That like you watch something, you're like, I want to watch more of him. Like Dana had just watched La La Land. She's like, I forgot how good of a dancer he is. And then he dances in this, and then she was like, yep, still a good dancer.
Dances in this, plays guitar in this.
He does everything.
Oh my gosh, that scene was so funny, too.
Yeah, just
every scene was funny, unless it was a scene about the message, and it was making me tear up.
Yeah, this movie has one of my favorite quotes in it, and I don't know if I can say the quote, but...
I'm just Ken? No.
No.
I'm Ken enough.
But it made me want to tell my mom I love her.
Yeah.
And that was really cool because.
Are you talking about the monologue?
No, there's
that kind of area.
There's a line. I'll read it. It says, "That's why moms stay put, so our daughters can look back and see how far they've come." And like I think about the sacrifices my mom and dad made for me, and I was like, yeah, that line rings very true. And it felt really good to hear it said, and like it made me, like Brett talks about, it reflects on what you take for granted. That's one of those things. Like it made me like kind of stew on it for a little bit, and I text Dana the line so I wouldn't forget it. So I was like, I have to remember that. It's really good. The ending of this movie is like surprisingly emotional, and I loved it.
Even just, I'd say the end of the second act going into the third act too. Because
you see me crying in the beginning of the second act.
Yeah, there's a monologue in this movie. It is so good.
Very good. Yeah. I
don't want to spoil it.
No, we shouldn't. Just to say that like America Ferrera has a small but very important role, and she is really the emotional core.
She's gonna sneak into a lot more projects.
Barbie and Ken kind of take us on the journey, but she's there to make our emotions go all over the place. So, but I will say there's subtlety, especially in Margot Robbie's performance, that especially like when she gets into the real world, that I just loved. Like it was incredibly
bus stop
impactful. The bus stop got me good. When she's like doing her sales pitch to the high schoolers, it didn't make me cry, but like just that performance was really, really good. Coming from where Barbie Land and all the expectations they had, and then just to get see
the reality
of it, super good.
Yeah,
super good,
very good.
Yeah, I don't think there's a bad performance in here.
Yeah, I think America Ferrera will pop up in more stuff now. I know her from Superstore.
Ugly Betty. You ever watch that? I didn't watch it, but I just know she.
Dana always watched.
I think she's the voice of the girl in How to Train Your Dragon too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Astrid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Dana always watched Superstore, and she's in it, and I always thought she was funny.
A couple other quick shout outs, and as much as this is performance, I think it's also around editing. Michael Cera as Alan. All of his stuff is just great.
Yes.
Simon Liu as another Ken. Not Simon. Simu. Sorry. Simu Liu as
Ken.
Kind of
another Ken.
Another Ken.
He's just Ken.
It's just Ken.
I do love the IMDb page for this movie.
Yeah, it's Barbie. Ken.
Simu Liu, King Benedict, Ryan Gosling. And then there's Michael Cera, Alan. Oh, okay.
And then Kate McKinnon as well as Weird Barbie.
The splits bit was killing me.
It was awesome.
I just could not stop laughing at it.
She fit that role so well.
That was great casting.
Yeah, super solid. All right, any other pros, cons? We haven't talked about much. I think the editing is really, really well done in this film.
Music.
It moves well. Music is great.
The score
Mark Ronson did awesome.
Yeah, the score and the songs that who all made songs. Lizzo made a lot of them. But like just the opening
Nicki
song.
Minaj has one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the Pink song, honestly, just so funny. Helen Mirren was a narrator. She was super funny.
Yeah, there's one narrator line that, like, can't remember what it was, but it was super fun.
Margot Robbie is not a good
Oh, yes, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Note for the
filmmakers.
Just
out of nowhere, just like...
Note for the filmmakers. Margot Robbie is not a good cast to make this moment impactful or something like that.
So good.
There seems to be a lot of people saying or even listening that it's an anti-male movie, and it's not at all. So just don't listen to that. Just go see it. You'll have a great time. It's super funny.
If it steps on your toes, maybe there's some reflecting you might want to do.
Yeah. agreed. I think, unfortunately, I'm gonna put myself out there here.
Do it.
Look, if we've gotten through the last 3 years and you still don't get what Black Lives Matter is about, and you're having the like, this is like anti-men, like Barbie, like it's the same thing, okay? Right? Like, it can be empowering women and it not at the same time step on, like, hate on men. The fucking patriarchy is an issue. Okay?
I love it.
Get over it.
Keep going, Brett.
And let's fix it.
I definitely thought you were going to use a different F word.
You know,
Let's fudge
I
it.
brought it back just a little bit. Keep the heat down.
Fudge.
Speaking of the patriarchy, watching Ken
And horses.
and horses, correct. Watching Ken watch the business dude, like, pause the woman.
Oh my
and then
God.
He's just like,
he's like, and he's like acting it out. He's like that scene, dude. It's so good. So good.
I hope Gosling
Honestly,
gets nominated.
I kind of lost interest when I realized patriarchy wasn't about the horses.
Yeah.
One of the best lines in the movie. He's like, yeah, I kind of lost interest in all this when I realized it wasn't about the horses. Like, just so funny.
Such a well-written movie. We didn't really mention the script, but yeah.
Written by Greta and Noah Baumbach.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, just gotta say this too. I love their production name. It's a GG/NB production. It's just their initials.
Oh, nice.
Don't make it hard.
Yeah. It's like, okay, this...
That'll do.
That'll do, donkey.
Ratings?
That'll do.
Ratings time?
Ratings time. Let's do it.
A booyah for me.
I'm going to give it a booyah as well.
I am too. Yeah. I am too.
I'll happily
I could give it a Fanboy worthy just because of this style of humor. It is very goofy. Some people won't like that.
Yeah.
But it's good enough. It's written well enough. It's performed well enough that I think a lot of people are going to like it.
Yeah.
So it hits it's good booyah, and it's a recommend booyah.
Like it.
Great
Look,
stuff.
lots of people have gone out and seen this already, but clearly from us, it's also a recommendation.
Yeah, go watch it. You will enjoy it.
I can't promise you'll enjoy it, but I can promise you that it's a good movie.
And you will laugh.
Yeah.
Are you
God,
a
so
Snyder fan? Go see it.
So fun. Okay.
That joke made me laugh so hard.
I told Brett, I was like,
Yeah.
there's a pretty good joke in there that I honestly...
didn't tell me what it was.
I didn't tell you, but I was like, I kind of wish I had been there. I would be there with you guys to see it just for that moment.
He was flabbergasted for like a solid minute and a half afterwards.
The line happened, and I like laughed, and I was like, all in my head in like a split second, I was just like, oh no. And I tried to hold it in, but instead it just came out like... It was very embarrassing. And then I couldn't stop laughing.
It was wonderful.
I don't actually know what happened to the movie after that for a little bit.
Yeah, you were kind of...
All the Barbies were talking and
looking
making
over
this
at you.
plan. I was just like, okay, I gotta catch up now. I think I got it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Snyder
All right.
catching strays everywhere. I think that's a good indication that the industry is a little bit tired of it.
Absolutely.
What? No way.
At the same time, I'm kind of tired of the industry, so... Strike. Sorry, Brett's getting real political today.
We're striking now too? Podcast union.
Dude, UPS
Podcast union.
UPS is going on strike this week too, man. Or a week from today.
And the running backs, maybe?
And the running backs might go on a strike. Let's go on a strike.
Let's do it.
Strike.
Let's go
Strike.
bowling.
Strike.
Strike.
Oh, yes.
Dude, I suck at bowling, but I'll go bowling.
Well,
I actually don't really like bowling.
I will make you feel good because I bowl with two hands.
But I'll go just to hang out with you guys.
That would
like,
make
I'll
me feel
bowl
good.
as well, but...
Hold on, I need to
I'm not
clarify.
good at it.
When I say I bowl with two hands,
Do you do this?
I am a pendulum beneath my legs.
Oh, you bowl like two hands.
Granny.
I bowl like a 4-year-old.
Granny
Nice.
style.
Nice.
You know what? And I've had 180-point games, and I've had 20-point games. But it doesn't hurt my wrist, so...
Priorities.
Dude,
precision
Game
overpowered.
Lord Master is actually really good at bowling. Who's in our chat? Like, super good.
So if we go on strike and go bowling, we better just go visit him so he can take us bowling.
We can also go to Holocron.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. Star Wars story?
Yeah.
I'm down.
It's awesome.
All day, a day.
Lepke, we're crashing your place.
We're on our way.
Tell the little ones to get out of the way. We're taking over their room.
Where I was on my way to after Barbie was straight over to the IMAX where Luke and I saw Oppenheimer.
It's weird. I went straight to the bathroom.
We did, didn't we?
Then straight to the snack line.
Which we stood in for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Game Lord says, I'll go on strike anytime, any reason. Let's do it. Cool.
Cool.
We got a group.
Sweet. But yeah, Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer out this week as well. Kind of the second part of the Barbenheimer experience. Curious what your guys' thoughts are, after experiencing Barbie. I know, Tyler, you had a day.
Like a day to process.
But like, what was that, Luke, for you going from Barbie into Oppenheimer like? Did you compartmentalize it pretty well, or?
I think I was fine. I do it a lot.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times I'll watch a movie, and I'll sit around for an hour, and I'll be like, I'm just going to watch another movie because it's Saturday and I don't have anything going on.
Fair enough.
I feel like I'm pretty used to it.
Yeah.
And I do it with a lot of polar opposite style movies.
See, I don't typically go polar opposite, and I think that it didn't help that we walked in like probably a minute and a half after the movie started, Oppenheimer, because I was still kind of into like...
We probably missed the most important line in the
movie. Do you even understand the movie?
No, absolutely not.
Dude, what the heck is a bomb? No. What's Japan? No.
Luckily, we strategically sat on the edge of an aisle, so we didn't have to like walk all the way across. We were just kind of get up, sit down, and start enjoying what Nolan was feeding us, which was very different than Barbie. But at the same time, incredibly enjoyable. Mm-hmm. Did you guys have a kind of quick one-sentence tweet length review of Oppenheimer?
Not quite one sentence, but it's pretty short.
You can go, yeah.
It's a dark look at one of the most impressive and problematic accomplishments in history. Cillian Murphy is astounding as Oppie. Nolan is at his best with this one.
Luke? You're super far away from your mic, just so you know.
Yeah, I'm just warming up.
Gotta get the vocal cords good and loose.
This film is excellent, but I think it's overhyped. Both can be true. Amazing performances, just really throughout the entire cast of like 190 famous people.
191.
Oh,
there is that one.
I forgot about Cillian Murphy, man.
Yeah, there is that one.
I think some great points are probably my favorite part about the movie was the cinematography used to show what's going on inside of Oppenheimer's mind, especially like when he's kind of in a self-anguish of what's happening or what he just built.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was super, super cool. Kind of as a TLDR, and this is what I texted my mom. I didn't include this in like my Letterboxd review. Like, how do I convey my feeling? Disappointed, but not dissatisfied.
All right. We'll get back deeper. We'll dig deeper into that here in a second. I'll say that I think this is Nolan's best cast. I think the cast have great chemistry with each other. I think they play off each other really, really well. I never was bored watching them inhabit the skin of another person. At the same time, I think the film gets lost in what it wants to be in its 3-hour runtime. Nolan is famous for doing the whole like telling multiple stories in maybe like different times or different. Like with Memento, it's like he's telling the story one way, or is he telling the story another way? And in this, it's like there's like 3 different timelines that are kind of happening that he bounces between. And I just think with the length of the movie that it is, it's hard to follow up until like the 3rd act when it really just starts focusing on 2.
Mm-hmm. What I kind of wrote down in my notes was this movie has 3 movies in it.
Kind of does.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little too much. I think it should have just been 2.
Yeah.
I think, especially where it ends, I was a little more interested in the other 2 stories. Sorry, I can't spoil stuff.
Yeah.
But
I agree, Luke. I think that there's a the story, not the plot, but the story of Oppenheimer. Like his story really concludes halfway through the 3rd act, and it's the finale is definitely meant to it definitely is tied into his story, but it's so far removed from him that it just doesn't feel as satisfying as it should. There's some stuff there that does work, and there's some stuff there that's great. I think it's fascinating, but I don't think it connects enough with what Nolan is trying to say with Oppenheimer and where he's at mentally at the end of the film, especially with what they're talking about at the beginning. Like the 1st act is just all dedicated to and kind of one of the 2 movies dedicated to this idea of like McCarthyism and anti-communism, and then there's this war happening overseas, or it's in our backyard, and how are we going to do that? And at the end, it's just kind of like a little bit of it gets a little too. It's not that it gets too political. It's just it's so tied into the political structure. I don't have a problem with it being political. I just think it loses focus on the man by the end.
Yep. I agree. I think it struggles the most after one of the stories concludes. Kind of like what you're saying. Like when it starts, it focuses more on a character named Strauss, and from that point on, it struggles a little bit.
And I actually. Again,
it's interesting.
Good stuff there.
Yeah,
it's very interesting.
Yeah.
It feels way less of an Oppenheimer.
And RDJ's so good.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He's so good.
Yeah, it's Robert Downey Jr.'s character.
He's fantastic in this.
Yeah. Fascinating. Yep. Okay, what else? There's lots to talk about with this movie. I liked, Luke, what you said about kind of Oppenheimer's mind when they really like dive into his perspective. The movie is definitely for his storyline. They shoot it in different ways. Like a lot of Robert Downey Jr. stuff is kind of in the public eye. It's shot in black and white and makes it feel very.
Did you hear what Nolan said about the black and white / color stuff?
No.
All the color stuff is subjective in its first person from Oppenheimer's
point of view.
All the stuff in black and white is third person and it's objective.
Oh, no, that's what I took away from it.
I think is super cool.
That's absolutely what I took away from it.
Because especially like the color stuff, I think probably my favorite scene in the entire movie, Oppenheimer is giving a speech. This is like, I think it's right after either the test or when the bomb drops, and he's giving a speech. And there's like conflicting ideas of what he's presenting and what's going on inside of his head. Oh, it's just so.
That's after the bomb drop.
It's
after
in like
Hiroshima.
It's in the auditorium.
Yeah. I thought that scene was so good.
It's very good, and I specifically like around then is when you just like really start to feel the audio design come through. It's one of those points where Nolan loves to play with dialogue and how loud dialogue is versus other sound, and it really works well in that moment. In that moment where it's like, what's the like of the feet and.
I'll be honest, when that was in the trailer, I did not think that's what it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when that comes up, I was like, oh, interesting.
Same.
That was cool. Small thing, but cool thing.
Yeah. Another pro, like I said in my quick little review, the cast. There are a lot of big names in here, and a lot of.
Some of them might have one line, or they're in the background.
Yeah.
Like apparently Gary Oldman was in this.
It was Truman.
Yeah, he's Truman.
I mean, he only has one scene, but yeah.
He popped up and was like, "Oh, that's Gary Oldman. I knew he'd be in here somewhere."
Didn't even realize.
Oh, makeup's good.
Nice job, Gary.
Hair and makeup's good.
Way to play a U.S. president believably.
Yeah. I think what I like so much about this movie is it made me want to dig into this story more. I went home and immediately put American Prometheus on my wish list.
Yeah.
Like, I want to sit down and read this story because I don't think this is... It's hard to make this a spoiler, but, like, a lot of the stuff in the third act about kind of what happens post-bomb drop to Oppenheimer is so intriguing to me. Because a lot of what he was dealing with is kind of what we're seeing now. And, like, the timing of this movie could not be better.
There's a weird parallel.
It's the timing of this movie could not have been done any better than it has been. Like, and I wonder what a world looks like where what happens to him doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And, could some things have been prevented over time? Like, it's just painful, man. Like, it's painful. And it I don't know, it changes a little bit of perspective for me. Not that I think our government's batting 1,000. This is a political episode this week. Not that I think our government's batting 1,000, but, like, this is a story that I didn't really know. And, obviously I'm aware of it, but I didn't know, like, as much as I feel like I know now. And, like, I woke up Sunday morning and I was watching old interviews of Oppenheimer on my phone. I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why am I diving into this? Like, I can't stop thinking about it. And thinking about, like, what it would be like to be so good at something that it terrifies you.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, being afraid of your own accomplishments. Like, I don't know. And Cillian Murphy does a phenomenal job displaying that. You talk about not just the cinematography, but just his expression. And Cillian Murphy's kind of a weird-looking dude anyways, but, like, some of the expressions, like, the emoting he does in this movie is, like, it's mind-boggling.
Top notch.
It's so good. Like, I can hear what he's saying just by looking at him. And I think that's just so cool. I don't know. This movie to me is just fascinating. I had to give it one word: fascinating.
Fascinating.
I'm obsessing over it. It's weird. It's really. I did not think this would be the movie that I obsess over this year, but it is becoming that very quickly. I like Googling stuff.
How do atomic bombs?
I think that is what the best kind of biopics do, though. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's not trying to give you all of the facts 100% as they happened.
No.
That would be, and I actually think this movie probably is more accurate than it needs to be. Like, I think that's part of, like, it gets a little too caught up in the details, and it's like, I want to know, I want to get that, like, more generalistic feeling. At the same time, there's a lot of people who won't do what you do and dive in, and so a more accurate picture is great. But yeah, it's these biopics. They're meant to, like, get you interested.
Yeah.
Go research a little bit, learn a little bit more about, see some other perspectives.
And I think for me, like, psychologically, I would have loved to I would love to understand him more. And I don't know that that's possible through books. I mean, the book that this is kind of that inspired Nolan making this movie, it's called American Prometheus. There's, that's pretty clear in the movie.
Yeah.
But no, like
bit where the guy walked up and he's like, "Bro, you're like an American Prometheus, bro."
Huzzah!
Direct line.
But no,
Bro
like,
and all.
one of the things I kept coming back to is like, well, in the movie, people get fired. What happened to those people?
Right.
Just let them walk out? I want to know more about it.
Yeah.
What happens? Like, there's just so many things in this movie that make me go, I need to know more. And I haven't had a movie do that to me in a while.
Yeah.
So it just sits well with me. Like, I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, I appreciate that it's not afraid to, step in and say, this is something that our government and probably most of the population for a long time was like the crowning achievement of being an American, right? Of America was the atomic bomb. It's a little bit like the moon, like setting foot, being the first person on the moon, or the first to develop the A-bomb. And I appreciate that this movie says, at what cost?
Yeah.
Not from the perspective, and one thing,
and it doesn't say it's not an achievement.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it also says, it's an achievement. It's great, but
and it's what it's not specifically not doing though, and I do want to address this, is it's not saying it doesn't have a Japanese perspective.
No.
This is a perspective of Oppenheimer and where he's at in his role within the U.S. military system, that industrial complex. I think that the Japanese perspective is a valid perspective, and that story needs to be told. We need to hear that more. That's just not this movie. It's not what the movie's trying to do.
But I also don't think it disrespects it either.
No, absolutely not.
I think the way everything is done is pretty tasteful.
Agreed.
Because it could have been ugly.
It could have been, yeah.
And it's not.
No,
I think the way that it's handled is very tasteful.
I would agree.
So, but I agree with you. I think that is a story worth telling.
That is a story worth telling. Absolutely. The one performance that really, not the one of the performances that really stuck with me after and just makes my skin crawl continuously is Casey Affleck. He is the guy in charge of finding communists, and he has one conversation with Oppenheimer, and it just makes me squirm because it's probably way too accurate. Because he's digging for where'd you hear this information? Who's your
he's
informant?
the dude in the kitchen when he's talking to Oppie about, I have a way you can share this or whatever.
No. He's the guy who.
Oh, no. I got you.
Him.
Yes.
He wouldn't give him his name.
He wouldn't
That's
give him
right.
his name, but
Okay.
he kept like a little viper,
kept kind of prying a little bit.
like slithering around, like slowly constricting.
Him and Jason Clarke both had a little bit of that.
Yeah, Jason Clarke. Oh my gosh,
Very
I got
good.
so mad at him, and I loved it. I just wanted to punch him in his face.
His stupid face. Yeah, no, I would agree. Boris Pash is his character's name.
Yeah.
Casey Affleck's.
Boris.
And I love too in that scene they're kind of talking about his exploits and what he's done in the past, and you're just like, oh, this guy's he makes people disappear. It's like, oh no, our boy Oppie's in trouble.
Want to check out my van?
I also just want to say, I'm not a huge fan of Oppie being a nickname.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that they use it, but I'm gonna use it because
I don't. Well, just know that you're gonna.
Well, Oppenheimer
Gonna make me.
takes forever to say.
it does.
Robert.
Bob.
J. Robert.
J. Bob.
They call him Robert.
J. Bob. J. Bob Oppie.
J. Bob Oppie.
J. Bob.
J. Boppie.
His DJ name is J. Bob.
J. Bob.
What about Matt Damon?
Very
He's
good.
Kind of the other big the other of 15. Big name. He has a big role.
I feel like Matt Damon is just somebody I can always count on to.
Yeah, he's gonna knock it out of the park.
Always be good.
Yeah.
He may have skipped Avatar, but man, he's in like 3 Nolan movies maybe now, 2 or 3. So he's in the Nolan family. So at least he's got that going for him.
Yeah.
You know who else I liked in this movie? Small role, Dane DeHaan.
Yeah.
It was really nice to see him show up and just be a normal character in something.
When I realized it was Dane DeHaan, I was like,
weird. He's actually not bad.
It's that guy.
Yeah. Yep. That small Sheehan's little spot, and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's good. I think it's hard to not say that.
Out of all the like giant tiny roles, sorry for that. Two more. I love Benny Safdie.
Yes.
As Teller.
Very good.
He was so good.
Very good.
Who there?
Alden Ehrenreich's good in this too.
Yep. Kenneth Branagh's good. He's a very small but influential part of, Oppenheimer's conscience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
was there any role that like surprised you when they popped up? There's one for me.
Is it Florence Pugh? But
No.
surprised for a different reason.
No, dude, the scene in the interrogation room, I was like, what? Like, what is
interrogation?
This? When her and Emily stare at each other, Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this?
Listen, that was very effective for making me uncomfortable, but I'm going to be honest, I just feel like this movie should have been PG-13 so more people could see it. And the other instances of that was not necessary.
the first two. What we're talking about, just to be clear, like this isn't really
There's
spoiler.
nudity in it.
There's nudity in it, and it is 100% Florence Pugh. It's just Florence Pugh.
Yeah,
she's the only nudity. It's just her top half. The first time is very much what you would expect. It's like a quick sex scene.
Yeah.
The
second time is like.
The second time, look, I come from like an art background where like I'm fairly comfortable around like nude paintings and statues and stuff like that. And so like her and Oppenheimer just sitting having a conversation in the nude. I don't know, I kind of enjoyed that. Just as like
people still do this, yeah.
Like that seems very comfortable after a encounter that they probably had.
The cameo for me that kind of caught me out of left field was Rami Malek. I did not know he was in this movie.
Yeah.
I was worried he's going to be in the movie and have no lines.
Yeah, right? He's in it like 2 or 3 times.
He's in a couple scenes and he was like, here, take my cookbook.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did have lines.
He did have lines.
Like, okay, that's good.
Sorry,
big scene.
Nudity. Just to go back to, you talked about the interrogation room.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think those two set up how that is awkward. Why that is awkward. I don't think that works as well without those first 2 scenes.
Yeah.
I don't think it works without Emily Blunt.
She did a great job.
Listen, she's in this movie for 5 minutes, which is a disgrace. But at least she freaking ate 5 minutes. She's so good. And it just annoys me so much. I was so excited for her to be in a Christopher Nolan movie. But outside of Interstellar, the only movie that had like a good female character in any Nolan movie. Good. I don't know. I was just sad she was in it.
Yeah. I wouldn't say his forte is writing female characters.
But I think he recognizes it and doesn't overdo it. Yeah.
So he's just like, we're going to ignore women. Me too, Nolan. Me too.
Honestly, like, I kind of hated Kitty.
Yeah.
For a lot of this movie.
And I
kind of couldn't stand her.
As a parent, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh, dude, that scene, I was like, I hate her. I can't stand her. But yes, as a parent, she made me very mad. But she has a good scene later. So.
It does such a good job, though, in helping us root Oppenheimer and who he is as a part of that unit, that family unit, and how then he cares for or takes responsibility for certain things that he does feel more familiar with, control over, specifically when it comes to like the Manhattan Project and all that stuff. So.
Yep. Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Lots of excellent performances.
Yeah,
all
she
around.
does. She does so good. Like
Nobody's
if
bad.
I hate her,
No one's bad.
no, not at all.
The one...
Actually, that's not true. I do have one performance that I was kind of disappointed in, but it might be a spoiler. We're gonna talk about it or not.
Okay. Well, you mentioned cameo or someone that you were like that popped up.
Yeah.
And for me, it was like Josh Peck. Like I haven't seen him since Disney Channel.
He's in the trailer.
I know.
You
but
didn't see the Red Dawn remake?
I did not see that.
I did see it. I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, he's the younger brother.
In any case, it was like, oh wow, like it was one of those things where I knew he was in it, but it still kind of took me out of the film for a moment.
My brother,
his performance was good.
My brother had like a physical reaction when he showed up because he didn't want to say anything. Obviously, he's like watching it, and Josh Peck shows up, and he's like, and he looked at me, he's like, "What?"
Quaid.
Like,
yeah, Jack Quaid.
Like,
I don't think he had a line.
Maybe one. I think he has. Like, he says like
he's got
one
thing. Yeah.
But yeah,
he's like detonated.
Attaboy. But he was in the room.
Wanna be in the room.
I think we've talked a lot about cast. Moving on, just because we could probably spend an entire hour just talking about cast. Cinematography was great.
Yep.
You mentioned some of that earlier.
Hoyt's got it going.
Use of practical effects and sets.
Yeah, good sets. Everything looked really good. I am a little bit more on Luke's side of the line of I thought I don't know. Can we say that? Luke?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't either.
Oh, this is my disappointed performance.
Yeah, the disappointed part. I didn't think and it may more be about the editing around it. I didn't find the test detonation all that inspired. Like it didn't make me be like I'm horrified or it was an explosion.
So with that scene, it was this amazing build-up. The clock is ticking, the storm's going, we're like, crap, this might not happen. And then it was like, it happened, and I was just like, oh, maybe we should have used CG.
They shot it in like a fish tank or something. Have you heard of this?
They did like some close-up stuff in
like a fish tank.
Yeah, which is
so weird.
Very, very interesting. At the end of the day, I think it's cool how much they did practically. At the same time, I agree with Luke. It does not quite relieve that tension, that build. It doesn't match what the anticipation is in that scene.
Like, and that's what every trailer was built around.
Right.
Yeah.
Was the bomb.
Yeah.
And then it was just over. It's like,
yeah, it's quick. And then there's a lot after it.
Yeah. There's a lot. And I don't dislike that. Like, that shouldn't be the end of the film, I don't think. Another quick, I don't think this is a spoiler, but like the whole line about like, now I have become death. Like,
felt out of place to me.
It felt out of place for me because of how it's used earlier in the movie.
Yep.
With Florence Pugh and like a
naked.
Like a, is this like turning him on? And then they use it at the end of the explosion. I'm like, I don't feel like this. Like,
I'm curious.
What are they trying to say?
How that culture would react to that scene. From where that book is from. I don't know the exact place it's from, so.
What is it? It was
Is it Hindu?
It's in Sanskrit.
Yeah.
So.
In any case, yeah, I think there was some editing specifically around there. After that,
from a Hindu scripture,
it gets. I think the film gets back on track for like the end of the second act into the first half of the third act, and then, like I said, I think it goes a little off the rails in the third act, but I don't want to spoil it. That is like the one thing that the movie kind of has spoilery about it is the very conclusion, but
they're not happy. Surprised?
No.
Surprise.
Not surprised.
Were there any other pros or cons you guys had?
Score. Ludwig's a boss, man.
He's magnificent.
Yeah, good score.
I was never really worried about the score, though.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had no concerns. It did not disappoint.
Okay, are we ready to give our ratings then?
Sure. Well, I give it a fanboy worthy.
I give it a booyah.
I'm also going to give it a fanboy worthy. I think it's one of his best, but it's not quite a booyah.
It's weird. It's one of his best, but like all of his movies are like one of his
so
best,
good.
except for Tenet and Following, which are just not as good. Let's see. Here, I have the Nolan movies ranked on my Letterboxd. Where did I put it? Let's look.
When you said you were gonna do a Nolan marathon, I looked up Nolan's movies and I was like, I think I've seen a lot of them, but I don't know if I've seen them all. I've only not seen 3.
Following, Memento,
Insomnia.
Insomnia.
Yeah.
His first 3, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh dang, I didn't realize I watched as many as I have.
Well, don't worry.
This
Almost
is an easy accomplishment.
nobody has even heard of Insomnia. Super underrated. Not his best, but it's super underrated.
Well,
Where do I look at my own lists, bro?
that is our Oppenheimer review.
Right here.
Hope if you've gone out and seen it, you enjoyed it. If you haven't,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
it'll still be in IMAX for
I have it 9.
3 weeks,
Out of
3 or 4
You
weeks.
have
So
Oppenheimer at 9?
I definitely, if you can get it around to an IMAX theater, Nolan's films are always great on the biggest screen possible. So
I'll probably go see it again.
yeah.
'Cause I did not see it in IMAX.
No, you didn't.
No.
That day. Okay. Do we have any news this week?
I got a couple things.
Yeah, Tyler, take it away.
Couple things here. Mortal Kombat 1 will include Omni-Man, Peacemaker, and Homelander. J.K. Simmons will voice Omni-Man. Kind of cool.
I'm assuming John Cena will do Peacemaker,
Probably
too.
so.
He's probably like, heck yeah. I can finally beat a Mortal Kombat game.
Yep. I think that's cool. I think those are characters that fit in Mortal Kombat much more than they would fit in like Injustice. So
Yeah.
I'm happy that they're doing that. I think it's cool. And
I
it's
agree.
not putting Superman in Mortal Kombat. Like Homelander being there is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's have Superman do a fatality.
Yeah, right. Like
He's like, I'm putting you back in jail.
he'll melt their shoes to the ground.
He'll just break everybody's neck like in Man of Steel.
Yeah. And then the other thing I have is a comic sequel was announced to The Last Ronin. Ninja Turtle story. It's called The Last Ronin 2 Re-Evolution.
Back in the habit.
And it'll follow a new team of turtles as they're learning to become the Ninja Turtles.
Cool.
Nice.
Yep.
Very neat.
That means they can
Same
put in
creative
Easter
team.
eggs in the game.
Yeah.
They're making
Well,
a game, right?
They are, based
Okay.
on The Last Ronin. The Easter eggs would probably be the end of the game. So
Sequel bait, baby.
that's right.
Well, over on Peacock, John Wick's spinoff, The Continental, will be airing September 22nd through October 6th.
Let's go.
So, if you're big into that series, know that it will be over on Peacock.
That's me.
So,
I've got Peacock.
other than
Yeah,
that, I mean,
Marvel.
Comic-Con was this last weekend. It did well despite had good attendance despite there being strikes and a number of people not being there to
It was
talk
always
about
popular
things.
before all the movie studios showed up, so
Yeah, it'll be and just to mention the strikes, like we're kind of in a no one's really willing to budge right now, which I think is great that the writers and actors both have that resilience and ability to hopefully continue to hold out on the studios, and the studios need to get better, be better, or we'll go on strike too. Wait, did we already decide we're going on strike?
do the
Yeah,
studios,
Lepke said he's going on strike with us as well.
do the studios think they're trying to give Leonardo DiCaprio more money, or do they not realize there's people that are day-to-day that they also hire?
I don't think they know the difference.
Yes.
Great! Kind of on that, there's been lots of talk that studios are looking for new dates for their...
Yeah.
Like Warner Bros. Discovery, a couple weeks ago, was talking about Dune and Aquaman, and that they might have to move. They need actors to promote their movies.
Yep.
And then I think like yesterday or today, this past week, Disney was saying the same stuff about some movies I had never even heard of. So
yeah. All right. Well, real quick before we wrap up this week, what did you guys do? Did you guys watch anything or play something new that you want to talk about?
I can very quickly go.
Yeah.
I finished Fractal Noise. I don't know if that was last week or this week. Finished that. Started reading a book called The Midnight Library. It's really, really good so far.
Is that the show I watched? Midnight. Oh, that was Midnight Club.
No, yeah, this is about so. I guess the elevator pitch is when you die, there's a library, and in that library is a shelf lined with books of a life you can live had you made a different decision.
Ooh.
I would never know because I don't like to read. I'd be like, I'll wait for the movie.
So you start to read, and then you get put in that moment, and then you live that moment, and if you become disappointed in that moment, you're pulled back to the library. It's like giving you a second chance at life.
Interesting.
It's really interesting. It was released and written in the height of COVID, when a lot of people were having a really hard time. So your main character is extremely depressed and attempts suicide, and is how she ends up in the Midnight Library.
So if that's going to be triggering for you, just
be aware. But so far, very, very good. And then I have watched the first 2 episodes of Quarterback. I can already tell you this show will be a booyah. It's incredible. I have a few things I would like to see more of, but I think it'll eventually be there, so I'm not going to complain about it.
Well, maybe I can answer your question.
Maybe.
Because I've watched the entire thing.
Yeah. I figured. The way it was kind of like, it's marketed like, go behind the scenes with your quarterback. Like, the behind the scenes I want and the behind the scenes I'm getting are different.
What are you wanting?
I want more of the preparation side of things. Like, a lot more of it. Obviously, they can't show all of it because they can't show you the playbook. But, like...
You'll see some more stuff.
I hope so.
It's because, like, Kirk had a rough year with his ribs, and they go a lot into that, obviously, with Mahomes' ankle. Like, that's a lot of the preparation stuff they kind of do. They don't really go into... There's a episode where they go into, like, play calling. How whack they are.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Actually, that might be the next episode.
I hope so.
I think it's called Mind Games.
I think the thing I would like to see, like, sit me down with these guys and let me see how they watch film. Let me see what they're, like, have them explain to the average fan what cover 3 is versus
they don't do that.
Yeah, like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Like, but that's...
They do go into, like, them watching film, but just, like, more like why is it important and I have to do it a lot type of thing.
Yeah, but that's the nerd.
That's the quarterback in you being like, I want to know.
I want to see how their brain works versus how my brain works, because these guys are on a different planet.
What I'm hearing is we need Christopher Nolan to make a biopic of...
Please, God, no. No.
Andy Reid.
No. It'll just be about time. But no, I'm really liking
management.
Yeah. Oh. It's really good.
It is a booyah.
Yeah, it's going to be a booyah for me.
As somebody who loves Patrick Mahomes because he plays for the Chiefs, it was awesome to see how his mind works and to see how his mind works on the field and how it works at home. I find the at-home stuff super interesting. That being said, freaking love Kirk Cousins. His little journey throughout the season is so good. And I was tearing up at the end with his stuff. Him and Marcus Mariota, because Marcus Mariota has a very different season compared to both of them.
I'll hold my thoughts on Marcus.
And I feel people don't realize that Marcus Mariota's situation is probably the more common situation.
Yep.
Sure.
And I feel bad for Marcus too because people are kind of ragging on him and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I heard some stuff about, people kind of talked about Marcus Mariota and like him being on the show as like, oh, he doesn't really fit. I think he fits perfect because
you have three different perspectives.
Yeah, he's the example of what is a top 2 pick. He's a Heisman winner. And he's a bust. He's a bust, and he's fighting for a career. Yep. And if you don't watch the show and you didn't keep up the NFL this year, he quit. He walked away from his team. Makes for good TV. I'm very interested to hear how they spin that.
I think it's just super interesting. Like, I'd be so scared to show up for like their premieres and stuff, and he was there. I mean, he's on the Eagles now.
Yeah, he wore it. I mean, he wears it. He owns it. But it's interesting.
I think the best part about the show though is Kirk Cousins, and his wife is so cool.
His wife's great. I've always felt that way.
I love. Isn't it it might be the first episode where it like shows Mahomes, like he wins a game. He's with his friends and his family. They're like partying, and then it goes to Kurt, and he's like, yeah, perfect ending to a day, building a bonfire with Coop.
It's the first episode.
There's nobody around. They're just all like in their country home.
Yeah.
And then he's sitting by the fire, just like, I can't believe I threw that incompletion in the second quarter exactly at this moment. It completely ruined everything. And
I'll talk more about it after the show with you because this show's doing a lot for Kirk Cousins. A lot. I think a lot of people will learn to like him. I have more experience with Kirk Cousins than I like.
You have a past. You like that.
Yeah, if you're a Washington fan, episode 2 is cool. Getting to see kind of him talk about his time in Washington. And it was really refreshing to hear him talk about his time in Washington in a positive light. Because he could have used every opportunity to just trash them, and he didn't, even though our owner is a piece of garbage.
It's okay, he's not the owner anymore.
Well, that was going to be my next thing. I celebrated with some alcoholic beverages because Washington has been sold to Josh Harris and Magic Johnson and that purchasing group. I'm so excited. Everything has been so much better already. Like the way they handled all the events over the weekend. He's already done more for the community than Snyder did. It's been great. I'm very very excited to have an owner that feels like a professional sports caliber owner because we've not had that. Dan Snyder hasn't spoken since we hired Ron Rivera. He hadn't spoken in like 6 years prior to that. He just doesn't speak. These guys have been public more times in a weekend than he was in the last 7 years.
Nice.
So it's really nice. Very excited about that. The other sports thing, I'm not going to dive into this. The Orioles are in first place in the American League. They continue to build on that lead, and the Orioles have been in the cellar for a while. So this is just, I'm soaking it all in. It's
you didn't
great.
Want to hang out with the Royals and A's anymore?
No, yeah, they are the best team in the American League as it stands today. They're very, very good, and I'm so excited to see how this season unfolds. I also have money on them winning the World Series that I bet on in February. If they win, I'll win like $1,500.
Let's go.
And the last thing I did is I got a Switch OLED.
Oh.
I sold my Switch and bought an OLED. I only paid like $100.
Nice.
And I picked up a game. I had a bunch of expiring coupons to GameStop, so I was like, "Oh, what's cheap?" Justice League Cosmic Chaos. It's a kid like action RPG game. It's super goofy, super funny. I'm excited for Bryn to play it one day, but I've been playing that a little bit. It's cool.
Have you Zelda?
No.
Okay.
I have to battle my child when I play my Switch. So if I play something that
you can't beat your child in a fight?
No.
Come on, I could take your child, man.
She's much more willing to watch a cartoony game than she is Zelda.
Punt. Easy.
That's so funny. Claire loves just sitting down and watching Stephanie play Zelda.
I think Bryn will eventually, but right now she's obsessed with. Oh, this is, I guess, the other thing. Superman the Animated Series.
Mm-hmm.
So, like...
The new one?
No. I bought the old collection. I have watched the first episode of the new one, though.
So good.
Yeah. But she loves it. It's great. That's it.
Neato. The only new thing that I've been doing is watching the new season of Foundation. First 2 episodes are out. It's very much like the first season. So if you're like Luke and didn't like the first season... probably won't like the second season.
Hashtag won't be watching.
That said, I'm enjoying it. So
awesome.
Good for you, man.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Cool.
Well, I've done a lot because I've been gone. I talked about quarterback with you. My adventures with Superman. It's the new Superman animated series on HBO. It is so awesome.
So good.
It's not even really Superman the animated series. It's more like Superman the anime.
It's definitely Superman the anime.
I've watched all 4. It is so good.
Are you watching it on Max?
Yeah.
Yeah.
HBO. Sorry. What else is it on?
I watched the first episode's on YouTube. That's how I watched it. And then I had it on Hulu, and then they took it off. So now I can't watch it. I was actually looking last night because that's what I was going to watch instead of quarterback. But then I was like, I can't find it, so I'm going to watch quarterback.
It is so good. It's a refreshing take for the Superman and Lois and Jimmy characters. They're all interns.
They're also awesome.
Yeah. And
Jack Quaid's good Superman.
Jack Quaid is a fantastic Superman.
He's so good.
2 episodes, I think, come out every Friday. I think it's 2 episodes.
They come out Thursday at midnight.
Well, I'm probably
you get them on Friday, so
yeah. I seriously am looking just so much. Looking forward so much to the next 2 episodes.
I don't have Max right now, so I can't. I know. But I would be if I could because the first episode's phenomenal.
Oh, it's so good. I love it. It's so great to have a Superman something.
Yeah.
Especially animated. The other thing that I did was I finished Jack Ryan, the final season. I really enjoy that show. I don't know if it's everybody's cup of tea, but I have a lot of fun with it.
My mother-in-law liked it.
Spec Ops, espionage, stuff going on. Krasinski's really good. The newest season was only 6 episodes.
Super easy watch then.
Super short. Really enjoyed it. I think that show in its entirety is fanboy worthy.
It's done
nice.
now, correct?
Yeah, it's done.
Okay.
I saw Mission Impossible forever ago. Remember you
right.
guys reviewing Asteroid
That's
City?
right.
I was sitting in the IMAX watching Mission Impossible because I knew if I didn't see it, then I wouldn't be seeing it probably till sometime this week. And I never...
You'd be in my boat.
Yeah.
I'll go see it with you.
I'll let you know. Yeah, I plan to see it this week sometime.
I would have not been able to avoid everything. So I just took advantage when I could. I freaking loved it. I think it's a booyah, which is just 4, 5, and 6. 7. And 7, I think, are all booyahs. They're awesome action movies, awesome stunts. I cannot wait for part 2. I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd. It's my favorite movie of the year so far. I freaking loved it. And did either of you watch the Adam Eve?
No,
episode?
It was a little longer than I thought it was going to be, so I didn't get to watch it.
It's really good. It was nice to be back in the Invincible world.
Good.
Nice.
I'm really excited for season 2.
It's going to make me want to pick up my book and read it some more again.
It could.
I've kind of taken a little break from it.
Dude, Adam Eve, Samantha. Super interesting character. I love her powers. It kind of goes into her origin. Super cool.
It's like an hour-long episode, too.
Yeah.
They didn't, have, do it. Mm-hmm. They were like, yeah, we're going to give you a full thing.
Yeah, it's really good.
Awesome.
And then I watched another movie that me and Brett included. I know Brett's watched it.
Yeah, I haven't yet, but I will.
They cloned Tyrone. We're going to talk about it next week.
Yeah, we'll review it properly next week, so...
So if you want to join us, you can watch it this week.
Yeah.
Out on Netflix.
On Netflix.
Spoilers, it's really good.
Spoilers, it is really good.
Spoilers, it's really good. I haven't seen it yet. But I trust these dudes.
But he knows.
And it's Jamie Foxx. I love Jamie Foxx. Oh, he was in the public eye this week. He put out a video on his Instagram.
I wouldn't know.
Well,
Not that I actively dislike Jamie Foxx. I don't know.
It's his first thing since almost dying, so kind of a big deal.
My bad for not caring.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh my god. It is past my bedtime.
He had a medical emergency on set of a film, bro.
I know.
Brett's over here
scary.
I don't care.
He's like, don't care, replace him.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Don't care. Where's the Ryan Johnson?
How is he doing? How is he doing?
Oh, he's good.
Okay. I'm happy for him. Good.
You just said you don't care. You can't go back on that now. Moving on.
Yeah, you liar.
You should have to
I'm
watch.
done.
You should have to watch Ready Player One for eternity.
You
now.
can whenever you and Tyler want to end the show, I guess feel free to end the show.
Do we really want to play that game? 'Cause I'm pretty sure Luke and I can just sit here.
We can go.
Yeah,
on.
we can do this for a long time.
You guys have anything else you did this week?
I started watching The Bear on Hulu.
Okay, I shouldn't have asked. How's it?
It's awesome.
Dude, they torched the Snyder Cult in that too.
That was the first episode.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was so unexpected. I had to send that to you guys immediately.
Yeah, that's fun. That's one that I need to get in on, and I don't have Hulu at the moment. So.
Yeah,
I think
I've
season
had a couple
2 is
people
like
recommend it to me.
Season 2, I think, is just getting ready to end or just ended. So I was like, let's get on this now before it gets carried away, and I'm so far behind. Only 30-minute episodes too.
Oh, that's not bad.
Look at that. Green Rant giving Blue Beetle some props about costume. That's cool.
Yeah, we'll get to talk about Blue Beetle here in a couple weeks. I'm excited. We're kind of coming to the end of the summer movie season, but yeah, we got more movies to review in the coming weeks, and thank you for hanging out with us this week as we hit the 2 big movies of the summer. Two of the 3 big movies of the summer.
Until
of the
Dune
year.
Part 2 comes out.
Oh yeah, that's gonna make all the money. No. But yeah, appreciate anyone who listens or watches or hangs out with us on Twitch. So until next week, thank you all. We'll see you.
Bye.